We are live.
Yo, yo.
What's up, guys?
What up, Crypto Tom? Yo, yo.
Yo, what's up, Tom? That's my boy.
What up, Crypto Tom? All right. Let's get some viewers in here.
Yeah. So, how's your day, brother? What'd you do?
My day was pretty boring. I kind of just chilled. I was up late. It's actually my 2-year anniversary with my girlfriend, so she's
What?
she's a real trooper for
Trooper.
letting
Trooper,
me do
seriously.
this. Yeah.
Congrats, man. Did you guys do something special, or you kept it inside?
Yeah, we got Chinese food.
Nice.
That's
What's your favorite Chinese plate? Or I guess Asian plate.
just the General Tso's, I guess, and then an egg roll, and maybe some lo mein.
Did you say General Tao?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's like the least Asian meal out of them all. It's the Americans who created General Tao, actually. I found that out like a few months ago.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like there's General Tao, General Tso's, General Gaunt. I don't know, but that's what I get.
Delicious. All right. Bam. Everyone can see my screen properly? Yo, the total market cap's 121 billion. That is crazy. I remember when people were looking at Bitcoin's market cap, and they were saying, "Oh, it can't go under 100 billion because it would get delisted from what was it, the futures contracts, or it would get delisted as an asset, a institutional asset. I forget what they called it." And they're like, "Oh, it's impossible that Bitcoin would go under that. They wouldn't let it." Next thing you know, it's at 65 billion. Oh boy.
Yeah, and the miner narrative.
Yeah. So it turns out that price dictates mining and not the other way around. That's another interesting topic. So yeah, boom.
Seriously. Well, anyways,
We'll
coming to you
start.
live Wednesday night crypto chats. You got your boy Cryptunes here with BAGHUNTER.
But
Here to show you gems and hopefully save you from being wrecked.
exactly. So what do you want to start by, brother?
I guess we can just dive into the Bitcoin price.
All right, let's pull
The
up the charts.
total market cap, total altcoin market cap, and Bitcoin dominance.
All right. So you can see I was already doodling over here. This is a scenario I've been looking at for Bitcoin, and it looks like it's kind of might do it. My theory is that looking at the total amount of shorts, let's see here. Uh, this one, I actually found a cool indicator yesterday. Who shared it? Was it Crypto Gains? I think. Um, Anyways, it's an indicator that plots just the long contracts to the short contracts. So right now you can see there's a huge amount of shorts compared to longs. And I was looking at this historically. So let's go on the 1 day over here. Let me close this. Rearrange this. Doesn't look like a clusterfuck. All right. So you see here, remember when Bitcoin is ranging from I'm sure we all remember. You see what was happening with the short contracts? They waited. They waited for the longs to start climbing before totally just wrecking the price. So, and this is like the retail. This is like the average. So, I've been watching this, and I noticed that usually retail is wrong. So I'm looking at the amount of shorts here, and I'm thinking that there's some serious money to be made. So a situation that would look pretty yummy to whales would be to basically dump the price, pass these wicks, grab liquidity, and then wreck all the shorts by shooting back up. Now it's it's obviously not a sure thing, but my boy Crypto Trooper, he was laying that out as one of the scenarios, and I think it's something that's really possible. But it's like on Twitter, I mean, everyone's bearish. It's I keep seeing bearish charts over and over and over again. So just it leads me to think that situations usually don't end up the way we all think it will. So that's why I'm kind of leaning bullish. But then again, I mean, I really don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I was seeing a descending triangle being formed there.
Yeah. Let me clean this up for you guys. It's gonna take me a bit of time because I don't have a mouse. I have a touchpad on my laptop. Bam. And this black line is just the equilibrium, the middle. So if we're under this, it's usually not the best thing. So let's draw some trend lines over here. Boom. I'll go from here. And usually for a trend line to be valid, it needs to touch at least two wicks or two candle closes, depending how you draw your wedges. So this would be something. It doesn't mean it's going to happen like that. So let's extend this. Bam. So what we could see is if my scenario were to play out, it would break below wedge. That would have a bunch of shorts open, even more than there are now. And I think right now we're actually at the highest amount of short contracts that it's been at ever for a very long time. We could check after. And then fucking wreck everyone, and it probably pumped to like a strong level of support. Sorry, of resistance. So something like probably like here. Something like one of those like 1K chat candles that we haven't seen in a long time. Maybe even here.
So you lean bullish?
Only based on the amount of short contracts. But then again, like if we go back to the bull run we had, the longs overpowered the shorts from 5K to 20K, so they weren't wrong. So if the shorts overpower the longs now, they might not be wrong also. But I know that there's Bitcoin just dropped 50%. It's, how can I say it? The longer we stay in this range, the least likely it is that it won't. How should I say it? I'm not saying it correctly. To me, the longer we hover, the more likely shorts are just going to keep building, and someone's going to get wrecked. So I don't know, honestly. I would, perhaps this is just my bias. Also, I'm thinking, I'm leaning bullish because I don't want to see further blood. But yeah, that's what I'm looking at. Let's pull up our good friend Ethereum. Nice we chart in USD first. What's this? I've been fucking around with a few indicators. So we got this one. Got stochastic. Do you know a crypto? Is it Goon Hunter? Gone Hunter? Goon Hunter? I want to butcher. Yeah, Crypto Hunt. You know this guy?
No.
He helped the other day. He was talking about certain indicators he likes to use, and I messaged him privately, and dude, he took like 20-30 minutes to explain to me what his settings were and all that. So I really appreciated that. He basically gave me some new settings for the stochastic to make it slower. So that means when things actually cross, they're more sure to hit, because sometimes you get false positives when your indicator is too tuned, I guess, for lack of a better word. But yeah, so let's pull up some. Boom. You can see here it's a strong level of resistance. Boom. It's the same thing here. Let me pull up my brush. Boom. What we can see here, you see the wicks? Yeah, this wick. You got that wick. Right now, there's liquidity resting under these. So what we could see here is a hunt for liquidity. So the price hunts for all the orders that are waiting here and just blasts. And that wrecks all the shorters. So if anyone's looking to short, it would be risky. I'd at least, wait for some type of confirmation to happen on a like a daily time frame or on like the 12-hour, because right now shorting is, it's not the smartest scenario, put it that way. Another one.
What I've been seeing is like I've actually been seeing big counts call for $14 Ethereum, and the more I see that, the more bullish it makes me. You know what I mean? Because
I
like,
saw that because they look at the,
do people
they look
actually
at.
think that's gonna happen?
I don't know, man. Well, first of all, I mean, there's support at $50. You can see here, that's a level that had, and I'm not saying it will go to $50, but it's like, it's not just going to break through everything. I mean, we could get some, because you see there's also some support here towards the 82 to 92 level. So it could even hunt for liquidity down there. But yeah, no, like I know what you mean. Like people are calling for like $1,000 Bitcoin. Like, we do have to get through 3,000. We do have to get through 2,000. It's not just gonna pierce everything. I'd love a Chad Campbell. Yo, seriously. Let's take a look at EOS. This is something I posted a few weeks back. I'm kind of bearish on it, and I think it may have almost hit my target. Holy shit. All right, so I drew this fucking thing like 2 weeks ago, maybe a bit more. Hey, it hit my target. Nice. I wasn't in the trade though, but what I'm thinking is, you see this drop over here?
Yep.
All right, right here. Under this, there's liquidity. So it's the same idea. What they could do is hunt, boom. If this becomes, oops, man, it's so hard to draw. If this becomes support, becomes resistance, and let's say it isn't able to break through, so it goes something like this, and then boop, and then down. The next level of support would be like somewhere down here. And the problem with EOS right now is that the long contracts are overpowering the shorts, I think, by 3 times or 3.5 times, meaning that there are some dudes who went long down here, who never closed their long position, who are still in position. And right now they're holding on to a rock. So I don't know what's going to happen with the OS. This target's just, it's kind of like saying $14 Ethereum, but to me, it's more believable than anything. Plus, you see the volume down here? We haven't seen any giant, capitulation wicks, those giant fucking monster pain wicks. So I don't know.
Yeah, that looks like you could bleed to like 700 sats.
Imagine. But then again, like I'm not in the company, I don't know what they're doing. So again, as we talked about last week, everything on Twitter is hyper, bearish, hyper bullish. So I guess time will tell. I mean,
Yeah.
just on BitMEX, like, let's go on the daily here. Do you use BitMEX, by the way?
Do I use BitMEX?
Yeah. Have you in the past?
No.
Okay. Yeah. I changed to Deribit because they won't let me use it anymore. And I use a VPN on my thing, but they found me out, so they made me take my funds out. So yeah, let's take a look at Cardano. Cardano, you poor soul. All right, so this is another chart I drew out 2 weeks ago or whatever, something like that. Bam. And then again, we're getting closer. And I drew that because of this area here. Right down here is liquidity, and it's kind of like the bottom. So what could happen is, let's say Bitcoin does capitulate to 3K. Like, it would go something like, and then bop. And then it might do a double, and that would start a new cycle. So just by looking at charts, we're pretty close to the bottom, not only for Cardano, but overall, the sentiment's so bearish. And, you know, then again, Cardano's still a $1 billion coin, or has it cracked down? Oh man, it's not even a $1 billion coin anymore. So I don't know what it's actually worth. I don't know how much they have in their coffers. Coffers, is that how you say it? Like the piggy bank? Coffers. Yeah, coffer. Sweet. But yeah.
Why don't you take a peek at Factum?
Yeah, sure. Damn. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Yo, it's like worse than waves. I guess better than waves. Man, it copied. Look what it did last December. Look what it did at around the same time. Today, last year, it started its last mega. Yo, that is crazy.
Dude, honestly, it's hitting resistance right now. Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, let's chart out some lines here, because you can see I already drew 2 previous resistance that it just blew the fuck through. So if I were in Factum right now, I wouldn't even be in position anymore. I might have had a 10% moon bag, but I would have cut the rest of the 90% around here. But like Factum and waves, they're acting differently than other coins. So I would not have been greedy with it. I would have definitely cut most of my position here had I entered down here.
Dude, tell me those 2 wicks don't look like the exact same size.
Which one? Oh, like from here to here. And okay, yeah. Actually, let's do a measurement.
Yeah.
It's price range, I think. Data price range. So this is an 88%, I guess, rise, and it's different from here. 88% to 85%. It's almost.
That's what I'm saying. It looks like it's like.
It looks top the fuck out. Like here, let me just look from previous. Here is a strong area of resistance.
It's just I tweeted something earlier today. I tweeted your coin has shit fundamentals until it pumps, and then it has sick fundamentals, and it's just so funny because you see Factum pumping, and as you see it pumping, you see people on Twitter and they're just like, "Yo, Factum's like
the best." Yo,
yeah, they're like Factum's like the best coin ever. It's like news really does follow price. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess that ties back to people being overall hyper bullish or hyper bearish during certain times. Let's look at the volume. I'm curious about that. Man, it still didn't. You see this like Chadwick over here? I didn't get that. So imagine it. Yo. Yeah, and there's another strong. It has some serious resistance pop like coming up there. Like, yeah, as I said earlier, I mean, I wouldn't have been in that position. Anyways, like waves, it's the same idea. But you can see where I layered out my resistance lines. It just broke through everything. Like it was no one's business.
Dude, at the same time, I've seen people calling for alt season, and I know it's really beating a dead horse, but I mean,
if we do volume,
and then like coins like waves and factums, like they'll just keep going and they'll be the leaders.
Maybe. I mean, waves looks top the fuck out. Like you see the 2 daily candles here. See the 2 wicks. Like there's a lot of sell pressure here. So if I were to look for a position, probably I would. Why did I draw this? Let's look back. Sometimes I don't remember why I do certain things. Yeah, so that was a level of resistance that I just broke through. So if I were to look for a position, I might set like 25%. Shit. 25% here, 50% here around this area, and then like 25 down here. If it were to get like a death wick where it just went like and then bounce back, and that kind of goes towards like risk management. And I was talking about that last week about never blowing your load in one shot. But it's true. Like if I were to put 100% of my position here, and let's say it just cracked through, because this area, there isn't much support other than what we had previously. So if I really want to have a safe position, I'd probably put the majority in here. 10% would happen. Is you don't want to be that guy, firstly, buying the top, and secondly, buying a weak support, because it just hurts to hold on to a position that had this massive rally. This is more than what is this? This is like a 2.5x about. It's crazy. All right, price range.
It's pump season.
150%. Yeah. Like, what are some other coins that pump?
You know what I think is next?
Look at this shit. It's over a 3x. What do you think's next? I'm curious.
BNB.
Really? All right, let's check it out. Oh, did it break above? Oh, it's having some. Interesting. Is this some sort of maybe a weird flag? Yeah, I can't. It's kind of hard to draw that. It could. I mean, it's not really a flag.
Yeah, I'm gonna send you a chart. Okay, I'll send you a chart on your Twitter DMs.
Yeah, sure. Damn.
Send it.
Technically, this sent it. So technically, this is like a strong area of support, right? It has a lot of prior history. So if I were looking for a position in BNB, I would wait for it to touch around here. It might get front run. Like you could put like 10% here, 10% here, but I'd have the majority of my bid set here and maybe some below in case it like tried to reach that level there. But let me see what you sent me. It's in messages.
Yeah, check your DMs. Down in the
Balls.
DMs.
Down the beam. Star bust. Poor guy, man. Oh, this thing? We'll oh, interesting. Okay, I see what he did.
Yeah, he's into fractals. I like fractals a lot too. Crypto Banger is also a good fractal trader.
Interesting. I wonder if he caught that. Like if he actually invested in it.
He probably did. But you see the little dip once it gets when it breaks below the meme triangle, and then it sends it up. And Binance is launching their own DEX, which I mean,
I read into that actually.
I would not be surprised to see the Binance DEX just like easily outweigh Bridgecoin or like IDEX. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean IDEX. Yeah, no, I know what you're saying. I want to quickly look at IDEX because I was really preaching people to get out of it. Oh wait, what is this? That's the membership. What's it called? Aura. What am I doing? Yeah. Holy shit. All right, hold it. Let's make this a bit more clean. Yeah, so this is, I think this is where they were like, we're asking for KYC. And around here it was like, it probably isn't the best idea to hold IDEX anymore. And sadly, this is what happened. And this area is the one I laid out as, a potential buy area. Not that I'd be buying, because I don't like it when a decentralized exchange claims to be centralized, but I understand why they had to do it. But it kind of removes the purpose. But yeah, BNB, I think what they're doing is they have a native, it's like the BNB coin or something like that, and they're going to exchange it 1-to-1 with Bitcoin. So you're going to be technically holding kind of like a tethered Bitcoin. It'll be like a Binance Bitcoin. So I don't know what you think about that, but some people are outraged. I mean, to me, technically, if you hold your coins on Binance anyways, they're not yours. So if you're going to run the risk of getting whatever hacked or anything, you might as well run the risk of holding a tethered Binance coin or Bitcoin, whatever you want to call it, or is dead now. Yeah, I mean, to me, Tom's right. I mean, it sucks. I mean, if you're a risky investor, I mean, you could start layering in, but to me, it's not a project I'd want to hold right now.
Honestly, I wouldn't sleep on it just because there's you gotta try to not have a herd mentality. Like pretty much everyone thinks right now that it's dead and it's done. And so it's like it's probably undervalued if that's what the general consensus is. And they're more than just an exchange. Like I remember I read their white paper like months ago, and they have a lot of plans for a lot more stuff. And I guess it's a coin worth looking at if theirs have been still actively developing throughout the bear market.
You're right. I mean, yeah, I guess I did have a herd mentality in that sense, but I guess it kind of paid off in the short term. But for now, I mean, it seems like there's not much volume, but some.
Oh my God, it's $2.5 million.
Yeah, it's 2.5.
There have been so many days where their volume was
Was it
far
greater than?
far greater. And think of like
Yeah,
that's actually why I didn't know it's that cheap. Like
let's
I
see.
mean, Binance is like $1 billion, and this is 2.5, and like that's kind of I don't know.
Or let's see what they've been updating. Records is another one, number one DApp. Let's see what makes you number one, Aura. Trading rewards.
All right, think about it this way. Do you think that long term Binance is gonna implement KYC like site wide?
Oh,
They're gonna have to. Like, they're just gonna have to. And that's probably going to also apply to their decks. So, I mean, people are gonna use.
They have to though?
Yeah.
They're technically. I mean, I know that the SEC they range across countries, but at the same time, I don't know. I mean, I can see why they would, but at the same time, they're such a powerhouse that they're not. Let's put it this way: I think first they would ask BitMEX, because BitMEX is in the United States, right?
It's actually located in the Seychelles.
Get out of here, really?
Yeah. And
Oh, my
Binance
bad.
is moving to Malta. But like I see Binance like it's a centralized exchange. Like CZ is not so much focused on creating a platform for people to trade without having to give their identities. He's focused on giving a platform where people can trade, build volume, build fees, make him money, increase the value of the BNB coin. So I see long term like them implementing full KYC, and that's probably also going to apply to their decks. So once people kind of submit to regulation and use the Binance decks with
But then it won't be a DEX.
I mean, is it not a DEX just if you KYC? You know what I mean? It's like it's a longer conversation to be had.
But
But
it's not, I mean, to me, it's not. It's not decentralized if you're asking for centralized information. Like that's my beef with Aura.
yeah, no, I know. I
It's
know.
just that. So if Binance were to do that, to me, it would be a big failure on their part. And just if they're trying to implement a decentralized exchange, as their exchange now, if they were to implement it, I'd be like, I understand someone twisted his arm, and that's that. But time
I,
will tell, man.
I just the way I
Aura,
see things going is if Binance implements a DEX and they say you're gonna need to KYC and people use it, then there's gonna be a moment where it's gonna be like, okay, why is everyone so bearish on IDEX? If literally, like normal, if normal people are using Binance's DEX and
yeah,
KYCing, why
yeah.
is
I mean,
everyone at this
yeah.
simultaneously going to be so bearish on IDEX?
I,
It's like
I see. Yeah, as an investment, I mean, this isn't investment advice, but like personally, I like to look at the coins that are worth nothing. So if Aura or IDEX, whatever you want to call it at 2.5 mil, it's a steal. But then again, it it really depends
could always go
if they're
lower.
that. So I guess dollar cost averaging would be a smart thing, but you know, Aura is a good platform, and if they are the number one DApp like they say they are, meaning they have the most users, it's definitely a steal. So I don't know. Like personally, I'm not invested, and uh, I don't know. I'm gonna take two looks at it, and I don't like making decisions off the fly. But
Well, look up how much volume the exchange has.
let's see. We're in here. Rankings, top 100. IDEX, TIDEX, IDEX, IDEX. 886K. That's a third. Yeah, they have a third of the volume is their market cap.
Yeah, and there were definitely days where they were doing,
Heavy
tens and
volume.
tens of millions of dollars of volume.
Mm-hmm. I'll take a look at it. Thanks for bringing that up.
Because IDEX is just an exchange that is part of Aura. Like I think like Aura is it's more than just the exchange, but this is like the foundation of
Mm-hmm.
what they're trying to do.
Yeah, or is like the BNB of finance, or I mean the
Yeah.
BNB. Yeah, exactly.
But I mean, it's like if you think ETH is going to $14, then I guess it's probably not a good investment to think about Aura.
That's funny. Yeah. All right, let's see this. I drew this like wedge a little while back. It's a little, yeah, it kind of never came back to it. Oh yeah, I tried here, but yeah, you can see on Neo, for example, like a lot of the big caps are having trouble maintaining steam. Like, let me pull this on the 12-hour. This is called the T3 CCI. I started using it recently, and basically, whenever it's red, it's bearish, and whenever it crosses to green, it's a buy signal. And likewise, if it crosses, there's a few ways to trade it. I posted a YouTube video the other day on my feed on how to use it. So I'm taking a look at it. I'm using it in combination with the stochastic, seeing how that works. Usually, I use RSI and Chaikin money flow, but this SI and the Chaikin money flow combined. So, and it's a cool visual way of looking at it. So, trying to see if that makes it any easier to look at. Are
Yep.
there any coins you guys want me to look at, by the way? Let me know. Let's look at Tomo while we're at it. Or as I said last week, like I really like that project. Oh, you can see I drew some arrows the other day. Yeah. Yeah, so like I had noticed there was a bearish divergence here somewhere. I don't remember where. But yeah, it ended up falling to this support and then it kind of fell through. So
it bounced though.
you can see it bounced. The stochastic is when it turned here. Yeah, and actually you can see there's a bullish divergence here. So you see lower to higher peak. And over here, you can see higher to lower peak. I mean, what it could do is go like this, or break through again and tap up here. So I just because spotting reversals, they don't always reverse, but the higher the time frame, the more likely it is. Seeing as how the settings on the stochastic, since I put it to a slower setting, it's more likely that the divergence is real. So I know Tomo has a lot of, let's look it up, CoinMarketCal. If you guys don't use this website, it's a pretty cool tool. So you could look up your coin, and basically it allows you to see what events are coming up. If there are any bullish events, any like token burns, or so you can see here the mainnet launch. There's a snapshot. I don't know what. Yeah, and a test sharding. Oh, they have a DEX launching too, Q1 or Q2. So yeah, so you can see like there are a lot of coins that are rushing to launch DEXs. So I guess the DEXs that will be the most successful are A, the platforms that or the blockchain projects that have the most pull, and B, the ones that don't implement KYC, I think, or that aren't forced to. Then again, I don't know if there's going to be a real DEX that won't be forced to do KYC in the long run, because you can see how Wall Street they're pushing for institutional control. You can see like in the news, like, oh, we're not doing an ETF until there's control over the exchanges, until all the manipulation is. I'm like, motherfucker, there's so much manipulation in your own market in the first place. But anyways, I'm ranting. But yeah, so a lot of projects are rushing to do DEXs. So it's gonna be interesting to see which one pulls through at the end. MSR. Yo. Did you ever buy Mothership? Oh, MSR is Masari. My bad. I thought you meant MSP. Did MSP ever? Did Mothership ever come out? Do you know Mothership?
I know it's a meme coin. That's all. It's a
at this point,
yeah.
But it's a real project, I think.
Just overshilled.
Yeah, I kind of talk shit about it up here, and that was when I didn't have many followers, so no one heeded my warnings. But that's all right. Yeah, I mean, fuck it, it's plain range. Yeah, let's look up MSR. Sorry, I don't know much about it.
On Trade Ogre.
Yeah. I've seen the ticker. It does exactly. Yeah, to me, it kind of looks bearish. I mean, you can see there's a crossover here. This one, so it's still the volume. There's more sell volume than buy volume, and the RSI is under 50. So it's it's for a bullish uptrend. I like to see at least over 60. But yeah, I mean, indicators aren't everything. If you just pull up a simple, just look at your horizontals on a really high time frame, and you'll get a good idea what's going on. So yeah, let's look at these two. So if I were to look for an entry on Masari, you can. There's some buy volume that came in right here, so that would be a cool area to look at, which is the 4K area. So that would be an interesting buy right here. this support were to fail, I mean, probably the 3.5 would be another one to look at right there. And then finally, this one would be like down here somewhere. It doesn't mean it's going to go there just by looking at the indicators and what's happening. There's a chance, and that's the thing about charting. Someone who charts is never right. And I remember Crypto Dog was pissed about this because he puts charts that give two directions, and some people get upset because they're like, man, you're not making a decision. It's like, sometimes you just don't know. Well, actually, you never know, but you can only take estimated guesses. So yeah, he was a bit pissed about that. Mothership Exchange releasing 2038. That's funny. So yeah, so what else do you want to talk about, bro?
I mean, on Tomo, I was seeing a little cup and handle. I don't know about you.
Let's see. On the Bitcoin or Ethereum chart?
Probably both, to be honest.
Is this well, that's yeah, let's see the Ethereum one.
Well, no, just no, zoom out a little bit.
You want, oh, okay, I see what you're saying here. This giant thing.
Yeah.
This, right?
Yeah.
Cool. I mean, sadly, it's no longer a handle.
Yeah, are you sure? I mean,
again, like I'm not, when it comes to patterns, I'm not the best, but that'll be a pretty fucked up handle, if anything. Like usually like a handle, you'll have a huge volume breakout where that handle ends, and it'll, from here to here would be the distance that it would gain from there to there. So this would be equal. But you can see here it just broke through, and it's kind of just lagging. Me, it wouldn't be, but I mean, I don't know the most about that path. From what I know, but we could take a look at the Ethereum one. I'm sure it looks a lot better, seeing as how Ethereum's just fucking shitting the bed. Yeah, and like port area a while back when Tomo was around here, and it was a likely area for it to bounce. You can see it actually went through, but yeah, it's kind of ranging. We're positive on the daily, almost on the RSI. Stochastic is going down, so I don't know. It's a 50. Like with all the bullish news coming out and Ethereum dropping, I mean, Tomo would probably be could like do something like that. I don't know. I would be more bullish on the Ethereum. What do you call it? On the Ethereum pairing than the Bitcoin pairing, just because Ethereum's been having some issues lately. So yeah. Verizon, Square, Verizon. Sure, why not? for the hell of it. Do you want Verizon or Square? Go Verizon. I'm not big on stocks, to be honest, but the fundamentals apply. I mean, the TA is the same, kind of. We'll go on to daily because stocks are a lot slower. And I'm probably not going to do this again because I'm not really, I don't want to talk out of my ass when it comes to this. So yeah, you can see just here, looking at the previous peaks, this is a strong area of support. You can see there's also a light area of support here, which you can see it kind of had some. So if it were to, you can see it's actually declining. It's not doing so great. You can see there's a big bearish divergence here. Oop. Oop. The divergence is when the price goes one way, but the indicator goes the other. This is diminishing volume, or at least buy volume. So it's normal that it had a little drop here. If it had to get to an area, I'd say here. This area doesn't look too strong to me. It could kind of do like a small bounce. Where's my brush? Do a small bounce here and then kind of whoop. And here it would definitely find some support because you can just see it's had historically some of that. So yeah, that is that for Verizon. Yeah, tell me if looks better. What's the difference between Stotch RSI and regular? It's actually a good question. I'm not 100% sure. I don't want to fuck it up. This is RSI. RSI is more useful in trending markets, and stochastics are more useful in sideways or choppy markets. So a trending market would be Bitcoin trending from 6K to 7.5 to 6.5 to 7 to 6 to, that's a trending market. Oh, sorry, no, a trending market, would be Bitcoin going from like 5K to 20K or 20K to 6K. A choppy market would be Bitcoin going from like 6 to 8, 8 to 5, 8 to 7, 7 to 5. Then again, it depends on the time frame you're looking at. I personally, I go 4 hours and above. I rarely look at the 1 hour because it's just too. It doesn't give me enough information. But yeah, there's our little meme wedge. Does that answer your question, brother? Got it. All right, cool. Maybe I learned something new too. And that goes back to say, like, I don't know everything. I'm still an amateur in that sense. Like, I have general concepts, but still learning every day. That's part of the struggle.
You guys have any other coins you want us to check out? One coin that's interesting is Mana, Decentraland. They're actually having a land sale, and in like 3 or 4 days.
Like it's virtual land, I imagine.
Yeah, it is.
It's so like, oh shit! It just went through the support here. Yeah. Like, hold up. So yeah, so this is an example of like a weak support. Kind of remember like when I looked at waves and I was like, it might fall through the first one. You can see like down here, there's a stronger area where it has all that liquidity, all that volume, all that price history. So if I were to look for a bounce, it would be around that area. You can see it's heavily oversold, and that's on the 4 hour. On the 12 hour, it's still bullish. When I look at the T3 CCI, I usually look at the 12 hour. The 4 hour is good too, but yeah. So, what are they selling? Like, what kind? Like, what size of land? Or like
The land,
right by the size.
well,
You know what I mean?
the plots of land I think are either 10 or 20, like 10 meters by 10 meters or 20 meters by 20 meters. And it's pretty much like a virtual land where you can create anything you want. You just have to have it built. So it's really like the possibilities are endless. And you can go to market.decentraland.org and you can see the map. And there's certain zones in the map. So like, for example, there's the shopping district, or there's Vegas, or there's like the red light district, or there's party land, or just things like that. And I mean,
okay. Peace Place.
I can see how it sounds ridiculous to a lot of people, but to me it just kind of seems like
It's like Minecraft.
a decentralized world that people
Mm-hmm.
can just build. And it's like, so if there's any, I don't know, it's just there's any.
I know what you're saying. Like people buy weird shit. Like this guy bought the other day a rare like card for 140 Ethereum, and it's like a virtual card. So like people will pay money for things that sometimes don't make sense to the average person, but to some people, there it's worth everything. So, you know. And who knows? Like personally, like me looking at this, I don't know what the value is. Then again, I haven't done the research, so it's hard for me to say, say what I think. But if they pick up, this could be something really cool. It looks cool just looking at it. I don't, it's worth 140,000 mana coins, which I guess it would be a cool way to actually auction and trade property, like to be a flipper in here, kind of like flipping houses, but you're just flipping virtual property.
I mean, for me, it's like I view it as if you can get a nice piece of land on a main road, you could just get advertising revenue for people walking by.
It's like you apply for a real estate license. You're like, do you have any prior experience? Like, yeah, I sold virtual land on Decentraland. I sold 10 properties.
Yeah.
All right. Bam. So yeah, what's the topic you want to talk about? We wrote some down earlier.
You can get into OPSEC.
Yeah, operational security. So just what OPSEC means is like, what are some ways that to not get hacked? And I guess the first one would be, don't run your mouth. So, if your family and friends know you have crypto, first of all, never tell them how much you have. It's kind of like asking someone, what do you have in your bank account or in your piggy bank? Especially you have a large volume, it can get dangerous. Like there's this guy in South Africa, he got mugged or beaten to death, and not to death, but he got tortured, and they basically took all his Bitcoin. So it's scary. Another thing you can do is, never link your phone to your never do what's it called, SMS authentication. So only do 2FA. That's another thing. For phones, they're actually not under my name, and that's just so in case I wouldn't want someone just swapping my SIM card and getting my Google Authenticator app just like that, or getting my SMS and getting my access to my emails. That would be painful. So there's a few things you can do to. I'll actually look up an article later. I'll post it. I remember one of the larger accounts wrote a pretty extensive list of things to be aware of. It's like a list of 10, 15 things, and if you're careful, the odds of you getting hacked are you just try to slim it down as much as possible, and don't keep all your money in the same place. Keep a hardware wallet. If you're very paranoid, you can keep that wallet at your bank or in a safe, ironically. But there are some things you can do, and it's important. But for me, the main thing is just not running your mouth. No one likes to show off anyways, so that's something I've taken to heart.
Yeah, true.
I would withstand torture to save my Tomo packs. Fuck, that's funny. You'll never get my coins. Do you know of anyone who got fucked up in your, I guess, surrounding or on Twitter? Any accounts that got, I guess other than, I guess Belina didn't get hurt, but he just put his private keys on Evernote.
Wait, what? What are you asking?
Have you known of any Twitter accounts or any people in your environment that got hurt or that got hacked or
No, but I mean it happens. Like you could get hacked if you don't have. I recommend using two-factor authentication, but not using it in a way of something that's connected to the internet. So like if you use
right.
even Google Authenticator is not that good because it's linked to your Google account. Like it's linked to your phone. Like you should have your two-factor. Yeah, offline. Exactly.
Exactly. Yeah, you can download the app and put it on a tablet. Like that's how I have mine. It's on a tablet that's not connected to the internet, but it still runs the authenticator. So it makes it practically impossible unless the person's in your house.
Yeah, exactly.
That's really good advice. I forgot to mention that. Thanks. Yeah.
Yeah, have you
And
ever heard of like YubiKey? YubiKey?
YubiKey. It's like UBQ kind of the ticker. Is it
No,
like this?
it's a type of two-factor authentication where it's
Oh,
like a piece of hardware.
YubiKey. Oh, okay. Is it like a U? Okay, I saw it once. Someone was on Twitter was. Do you recommend that? Have you tried it?
Yeah, I would recommend it.
See. Interesting. Is this a paid shill?
No.
Just kidding.
But
Yeah,
it's
it's
just
funny. Like
like
not.
yeah. It's two-factor authentication and it's not connected to the internet. So,
So I guess it's like the equivalent of having like a tablet that's not connected to the internet.
yeah,
Uh,
exactly.
so it's like mobile. That's really cool, actually. It's only like $45. So put it this way: let's say you have 10,000 in crypto, and this is $45. I would say it's like definitely a. I would definitely get it.
Yeah,
I
I
haven't
mean,
done research on it.
once you
So.
get over like $1,000, you want to really you need to get something. Like you should have a ledger
At
and
least a ledger.
you should also have what?
Yeah, exactly. At least a ledger.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's a very good point. Yeah, like it goes back to earlier. Never keep all your eggs in one basket. Make it hard for them to fuck you over. But yeah, make them work for it if anything.
Yeah, and like I don't know, just like a point that I would make is I know people are afraid of doxing because of security reasons, but that I feel like this is actually an opportunity where some centralization could help. Like I know um obviously the idea of crypto custody is kind of self-defeating because um having a bank like hold your coins or whatever is just pretty much defeats the entire purpose of crypto, but that service is going to be offered. And, it's like someone can't take your crypto from you if you are using crypto custody the same way that they could if you just have it on a ledger somewhere hidden in your house. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
Just
that's
being
just,
insured is something beautiful.
yeah, it's just something to consider.
Mhm. Yeah, so that's a really good point. So yeah, no, like with centralization and all that, and institutions, it's gonna get safer. There are gonna be some drawbacks, obviously, but yeah, it's the space is gonna mature. The pumps are gonna get lesser. They're not gonna disappear, but we can already see how it's harder to find a 10x or a 100x. Like I don't remember the last 100x that I've seen, apart from Dragon Chain. Maybe was one.
There have been
Like we
some
were talking
100x's on Trade Ogre,
SDX.
Trade Ogre the
Really?
past over the summer.
Well,
Yeah.
Saronite, that son of a. Okay, Saronite.
And Nerva, I think, or maybe not Nerva,
Hey,
but maybe
I
it
think.
was Nerva.
Mm, yeah, I go on Trade Ogre right now, but I think my account's logged in, so no bueno. Oops.
Yeah, like Nerva got down to like 36 sats, and it got up to
Really?
like 5,000 sats. Or
Oh, like over here. Oh, okay, it only has the history of this, so I guess it was somewhere down here. Can't even draw down there. But yeah, I guess it was way down here. That's like the thing, catching those super low sat coins at the right time. Even if you have like $100 in it or $50 and it pumps 500x, that's still 25K. You know?
Yeah. No, I mean, like,
it's rare, but it happens. So that's the thing about also setting your sell orders ahead of time. Obviously, like, the odds of someone catching the 50x at the top and selling the 50x are astronomically low, unless they set their orders ahead of time and they're like, oh, I want 50x on this, or they logged in at the right time and they didn't get greedy and sold it all. But once you hold a 100x coin, like, it's hard to want to let it go unless you have the discipline and you told yourself ahead of time that if the coin were to get to a certain point, you would do that. So yeah, 100x's, they happen, but you just got to know, I guess, not to get greedy.
yeah. Why don't you take a peek at Bitcoin dominance?
Sure. Here. Ooh, it dropped actually. I haven't looked at this chart in a while. Here, let's zoom into the last 2 years. Actually, the last year. Yeah, you can see like a lot of the. Oops. Sorry, we'll go last month. Yeah, the dominance has been pretty strong, but it hasn't really.
It looks like it's kind of maybe topped out to me. I mean, you really can't look at it from like the 1 month. It's just like impossible.
Yeah, we'll do the one. Yeah, we'll do the 1 year. Just yeah, you can see like in January when all the alts had their run, right when Bitcoin dropped from 20 to like 11 or whatever, altcoins had their little rally. But yeah, it's kind of. I mean, I wouldn't chart this obviously, but it does. Some people do like to chart it, and they would put a trend line right here. You know.
It just looks like it's hitting that resistance of like, I think it's like 53 or 54%, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, Ripple's actually gaining on the market. It's funny how Ripple has been countering what Bitcoin's been doing. Like, let's go on the 4-hour. Don't really want to get into Ripple, but yeah, when Bitcoin dropped today, it pumped, and it's been doing this. Ripple has been countering Bitcoin the entire time. So it's funny how that's happening, and I don't know why it is. But yeah, if I were to long an asset, the only one I would long is Ripple and maybe Bitcoin. But then again, no, I can't say that, because if I were to long Ripple and Bitcoin were to go up, Ripple would drop. So I don't know.
What about Tron?
Tron, I would. You can just see from.
I actually believe in Tron. I know it's
No,
one
I mean
of
they
the most
bought,
hated coins on CT, but I
they bought
actually
BitTorrent. You know, it's a company, like they have assets now. I don't like the volumes dropping. This is just me speaking temporarily. Long term, I don't know, but I would actually be in a short right now.
Yeah.
But that's just me. But long term, I mean, as much as because that's the thing too. Like the most hated projects are often the ones that pump the hardest. You know, it's like the ones who have the highest amount of community support or hate, like Ripple, Tron, Verge, OCN. I have not looked at OCN in so long. I don't know if you've ever had any Odyssey, but
yeah, I like the idea.
But yeah, so Odyssey also has a DEX, and the hardest pumping ones. And recently, it had a 5x. I was able to catch some.
Yeah. That actually looks maybe bottomed.
Yeah, like that's actually a really good observation, and you can see here. you can see that the stochastic is uptrending while price has been downtrending. And as I said earlier, the higher the time frame get the CMF, it's starting to cross. So let's go on a smaller time frame. Let's go on the 4 hour. See what's happening here. So yeah, you can see there's some buy volume that came in. It's still not positive on the RSI. But yeah, I mean, it's Odyssey. That's one of the coins that, as much as they're hated, they really produced in the bear market, and they have a very big community. I think they have like over 100,000 people now on their, let's see, their channel. Yeah, close to 100,000. Like, this is a big coin, and they have some serious backing. So,
Justin's
I'm
on
not saying
Tron.
buy on. Hmm. Yeah.
Justin's on Tron.
Yeah. No, I think.
Look at Tron on like a bigger chart.
23,000 followers. That is crazy. Tron on the bigger chart. All right. Let's use TradingView, TRX. You want the weekly? Look at that. Look how Tron did like what is this? 100x more?
Yeah.
Something.
100x.
Yeah. Let's go on the 3-day. You can see I did a little doodle over there. Yeah. So you see, like on the 3-day, it's looking decent.
Yeah. Okay. Now pull up a Cardano chart.
Sure.
And
we'll do it also on the 3-day just to keep it the same. Yeah, it's not looking good at all. Like, and I'm just saying that based on the T3. Just then that's taking the buy and sell volume and the candle, the price, I believe. I could look at definition after. But yeah, to me, Tron looks a lot better than Cardano, just on a big scale. Chart-wise.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, wait. Pull up Nano is what I meant to say, not Cardano. Sorry.
Okay.
Can you chart it on an exchange with more price history?
Sure, we'll go on.
Maybe they don't have. Maybe if you just go on CoinMarketCap.
Okay, I can use this. It's because they go on the 3-day.
Okay,
Here.
now zoom out. Yeah. Okay. You see before it pumped. That. Like no, like before the huge pump.
Here.
Yeah, zoom in on that. Yeah, zoom in on that price history a little bit. Right before it really pumped. Like to the left. Yeah. And then zoom in on that a little bit.
Okay.
And now compare that to what Tron looks like.
I see what you're doing. All right. You want me to check out Tron before the pump?
No, right now. Yeah, right there. That
okay.
What Tron looks like right now, and then what Nano looked like before it had its 100x.
It's an interesting little fractal.
Yeah.
The difference would be is that Tron is already a Tron. Already a $934 million cap, whereas Nano at the time was nothing. So, I mean, I'm not saying it, it won't pump, but for it to do what Nano did, it would be something astronomical. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But yeah, it's a good example of looking at, imagine taking profit. Like this was what, a 4x about? Imagine like you get your 4x, you're giddy, you get out of position, you know, and then this shit happens, and you miss the whole thing, and then you kick yourself in the face. So yeah, that's a good example of holding a moon bag. I don't know if you do this, but I always have a moon bag, and that's like a 10% bag that I keep forever. So if I have a profitable trade and I get out of the trade, I always keep a 10% moon bag, which is basically free. In the event that things happen, I won't keep a 10% of like Cardano or a big, like a top 10, but I will keep a 10% of a $1 million coin that I think could reproduce something like that. And I think it's really important that people do that, at least the traders, because then, you know, even having a 10% bag of 100x is still a 10x. So imagine cashing out everything over here, and then you just see that, and you're like, fuck.
Yeah, that's why you don't. I mean, that's why it's like it's so tough to switch your mentality from in a bear market when you're so focused on taking profits to in a bull market when you just want to really let your winners run.
Yep, and that's the thing. Like the quicker you're able to switch your game, like now everyone knows what a bear market is like. But when the bull market starts, or at least when the market starts to trend in a different direction, the rules are going to change too. And there are going to be some coins that will pump 100x without a doubt, especially when the crowd comes behind, and when the news starts pumping the ETFs, and when the news starts asking for investors, and when people start discovering these shit coins again, there are going to be some 100x's. So the strategy is going to change. It's just a question of outlasting, you know, outlasting the herd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just a little. Have you heard of Ergo?
No. You want me to look it up on Twitter or chart it?
It's not. It hasn't hit the market yet, but it's
Okay.
just a little gem for the listeners.
Ergo.
AERGO.
Ergo. Like this? Coin? AIRGO?
No, AER.
AIRGO. Coin. Oh, it went through an ICO?
Yeah. Yeah.
Trust at scale.
Just
Let's look
keep
into it.
just keep an eye on this coin as well. Tell people. It's yeah. That's it. That's all I'll say.
Sequoia.
Do your own research.
Yeah. I will definitely keep this open. Yeah, so that, so it's not even in the market yet.
No. But there's just a lot of memes about like the Korean or the Asian Ethereum or whatever. But I'd say this has some legitimacy to if
it definitely has backing.
Yeah.
Arrington, Sequoia, that's some big money. Yeah, I'll take a look at that. Thanks, bro. Appreciate it. Actually, I want to look at Phantom. Another coin that has a big. Oh my god. All right, let's look on the Ethereum chart. I think it's traded mostly in Ethereum. Okay, so this is an example of a coin that has great like FA, a lot of partnerships. Time that it came to market is what hurt it. This meme, $5,000 sat line back when it was over here. So it's interesting that it, 5,000 is a strong psychological number. That's why I put that line there, and it bounced exactly at 4977. So sometimes just drawing a meme line is,
Oh,
the
is this the
dumbest
coin
thing.
that was like, was this like a top gainer on
It was like the
IDEX for a little bit?
yeah, it was like the new ICX or whatever, and
Oh
it
my
had this
god.
crazy. Everyone on Twitter was shilling it, and I remember Crypto Gatsby, whatever the fuck, Gatsby. He was making fun of people like over here, and he got some slack for that, obviously, because people were pissed. But yeah, that's one thing. Like, if you're right about something, you don't have to make fun of people at the same time. Like, people know that they fucked up if they bought the coin at the top. They don't need to hear it again. So Phantom's another interesting coin that I don't have any, but fundamentally they're really strong. They keep partnering up with huge businesses. Obviously, we don't know what those partnerships mean yet. But yeah, that's one coin to look at too. I'm curious to see what the market cap is.
Yeah.
6.6 million. Holy shit. That is what? Yo, this bear market is killing people. I wonder how much funding they got actually. I'd be curious to see what they got in their let's see, how much money they got in their token sale. They got 40 million in funding, right?
Yeah.
40 million in June. Let's say they cashed out half to USD.
They probably didn't.
They probably did. It's there. To
Dude,
me,
if I had an ICO, I'd be thinking like, all right, I'll just hold all the ETH until it's worth like $10,000, and then I'll sell it and make my thing. But you know what I mean? It's like,
I was saying, if you have a company to run and that company has some big developers and people that you need to pay salary, like, the smart thing to do was to cash out, and sadly a lot of ICOs did not do that, and that's why they're in the position they're in. But if I were to look at Phantom and they got that money, then I'm pretty sure they cashed out, let's say, at least 20 mil. Obviously I'm talking out of my ass here, but if they have 20 mil in their coffers, let's say they spent, I don't know, 5 to be conservative, that means that their valuation is 2.5 times this, about, or 2.4. So just looking at the amount that they amassed, the 40 million, and looking at what the market cap is now, not the most stupid thing. And if we look at circulating supply to total supply, actually no, the max supply is that. So you'd have that. I'm not going to get into inflation again, but it's an interesting coin. I'm going to look more into it.
dude, see, here's the thing with ICOs. If I came to you and I said I want to build a platform for something crypto, and you're like, okay, let's do it. Like, how are we gonna fund that? It's pretty simple. You just say, all right, well, we're gonna make our platform so that the only way you can use our platform is if you use this coin. And so then you raise an ICO, you do an ICO, and you raise all this money, and then you just give these tokens out that are, apparently that people are going to need to use your platform. But then here's the issue with that, with the economics of that, is that if you make a platform and I make a platform and they're doing the same exact thing, in your platform you say that the only way you can use it is if you use this coin, and mine I say you can use Bitcoin, people can use my platform because, one, they probably don't have that coin, so they have to go through an extra step to get that coin. Two, your coin probably doesn't have the liquidity to properly transact on it for it to hold its value. And three, it's just, I don't know. It's ridiculous. If like
People
I really
like convenience.
Yeah, I really think that a lot of ICOs are really just a method of fundraising to create a company or a product, and they do that by creating this token that doesn't really have a legitimate use case. Like a lot, like these platforms on all this technology is really cool and innovative, but most of these coins are just worthless. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Yeah, and like the market cap is severely overvalued. You know, even at 120 billion, a lot of projects they're gonna have some issues. So you know that goes down to competition. That goes down to what did they do with those ICO funds. Goes down to what partnerships they get, how hard have they worked. So
And if you have an ICO, you're just providing an incentive for whales to accumulate your coin. Like, if you have enough money to become a whale of coin, what easier way than just buy up a huge amount of their supply in the ICO?
Yeah, it depends if the ICO had a an individual hard cap or not. Some of them did. I think
That can
ICX
be
had a
that can
10.
be that can be bypassed.
Yeah. Oh, of course, you're right. For like accredited investors or for people who have friends in the ICO, like, yeah, you're right. It can be. So
That's why I'm so bullish on Stellite, because it's going to be distributed. So, like Stellite, you're going to be able to mine on your smartphone, So, like, what better way to distribute a coin than to let anyone in the world with a smartphone be able to acquire it,
what was it called? Um, that coin that was supposed to do that, but they
Oh,
fucked up.
Electronium.
Yes, thank you, Electronium. So
Gotcha.
it's, to me, Stellite's like the Electronium, but that actually potentially. So yeah, I've kept an eye on Stellite because right now Stellite I think is a $1 million cap, something like that, something ridiculously low, 1.4 million. And looking at these, yeah, I don't want to say it, and I've said it on Twitter once or twice, this coin could be a potential Verge in the future. Not in terms of what it does, but it's actually also a privacy coin. But
Dude, this coin could 125%.
100x.
I'm telling, just think 1,000x, in my opinion.
I think a billion's a bit. I mean, I would say 100x, like 100 million. What did? Let's just look in the past. What was the ticker for?
Nano did a 10,000x. That's all you need to know.
Fair enough. What was the ticker for Electronium?
ETN.
Now, let's just compare apples to apples here. So it went from a market cap of damn, I wish this showed. Oh, here you go. Let me take away the.
I just don't think you can compare the two, because Electronium is malware and Stella is actually like legit.
Well, it's like comparing Nano to Stellite. The only thing about ETN is it was supposed to be a mobile mining app, plus some other things that I don't know about. But see here, the market cap was what? Can't even. 0.03 USD.
Yeah, what was it at the top? It was $1 billion. It's like,
Here it's like 100 million down here, and here it went up to. Yeah, I
look
guess
at it at the top. It's at $1 billion.
Right. I mean, I guess just in my mind, seeing Stellite at 1 million, it's hard for me to conceive it being 1 billion, doing 1,000x. But
I just think because it's a low sat, like people,
yeah,
and it's so cheap. Like when, I mean, I'm talking
in
1,000x
like
when like we go on the bull run,
years.
because
Yeah.
people love to buy. Like if you new people that come into crypto, they don't want to buy one Ethereum.
Mhm.
They want to buy a
1,000.
million Stellite. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
This is like Nano over here, right? Nano when it was nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
Like here, like I feel it Stellite would be in this area. And it takes patience. This was over the span of a year, and then it did that. So like you see that mini pump right here. Let's just zoom in a bit, like pumps. And if we were to look at stellites, So like mini pumps, Stellite does what that did. These are going to look like nothing. So imagine just accumulating 0.1 Bitcoin worth, or a million Stellite or a million Stellite, whatever the amount is, and just holding a moon bag, or just taking profit at 2x and keeping the rest running, just profit, and hope on that in the next bull run. Like, you're going to be thanking yourself. So to me, the value is in low caps, and I've said this before. Like buying Cardano or buying $1 billion coin right now to me is suicide, unless it's like Tron. Honestly, Tron, Bitcoin. I mean, sadly, I don't want to say XRP, but Ripple. I'm gonna puke in my mouth. Monero.
I just think of Stellite. It's like if you're some kid in like some impoverished country, but you have a smartphone, or you just have anything that's connected to the internet, like you'll be able to use Stellite to mine it and just create wealth out of like Stellite. Essentially, what it's doing is it's turning an internet connection into direct wealth creation. Like that already exists with a CPU miner from a standpoint of mining like Bitcoin or something. But what Stellite developed was the AMAC protocol, which is kind of like this like deep learning technology, which is able to pretty much just take the specs of whatever device is connected to it and determine a proper rate of like hash power and of whatever. And it's just I don't understand how mining works as much as I should, but I know like Stella is able to take your smartphone and pretty much read it and determine what are the exact settings that your smartphone needs to be on to be able to mine it without like wrecking your phone. So it's really innovative, and it's
cool.
It's one of those coins that like, because right now this is just really a speculative part of the market because it's so immature. But like Stellite is one coin that I see as like being like a front runner towards mass adoption. Like if you really like I feel like it's that one of those things that could go viral. Like it's like you have kids in some poor country, but they have a smartphone and they're creating money out of nothing. Like that like some people live on pennies a day, and I'm pretty sure you could create more wealth out of Stellite than a few pennies a day with a smartphone. And then imagine if 1,000 X's.
Yeah, I guess it'll come down to marketing in the end. Like if Stellite gets their everything running smoothly on different phones. I don't know how deep they are in that right now, but if they're able to market it well, properly, and they're able to go to events and get on bigger exchanges, that's what's going to get recognition. Kind of like Haven. Haven was nothing until it got to Bittrex, and now Bittrex, people know about it, and then once that fades away, the price it recedes, but then it picks back later when no one's looking at it.
And it only receded. Like we're in a bear market,
Here, I drew this is called the golden pocket. I use a Fibonacci retracement here. Golden pocket is this area from the 0.618 retracement to the 0.65. And the 0.65 isn't in the Fibonacci retracement. You have to add it manually. So if you go in style, you can add it, 0.65 over here. And typically coins like to retrace to that level. So I bought some over here. I got greedy, and that was actually a mistake. But I sold the top. I sold maybe half of my coins. But I bought some back in here, and I haven't bought the rest. So I'm still doing well, but I should have been more patient. So that's something I wrote down, and I keep a trading book with all my wins and losses and the mistakes I make, and what my thoughts are, how I feel, because like as a trader, you want to be able to look back on the mistakes you made and the victories, and you want to, track yourself, kind of like, trying to get in shape or losing weight or, getting stronger at the gym. Like what you track will improve. So I do that. And so, yeah, so that was something I wrote down in my book. But overall, I'm very bullish on Haven long term.
Yeah, for sure. It has sick fundamentals.
Yeah, even if it were to go something like this, and then go through some accumulation, it's a long game thing, and that that goes back to Tron. Let's say, now I'm not saying it'll do a Tron like run. Tron is unique, but you can see that patience pays.
Yeah.
So yeah. So that's why, like, I'm diversified mostly in Bitcoin and very small cap coins. Haven isn't a small cap anymore, but I did hold more when it was a smaller cap. Right now it's probably in the 10 mil, 6 mil actually.
That's still, yeah, it's still a small cap.
It's still, yeah. I now I consider a small cap under 5, but it's pretty damn close. So yeah. If they're able to pull off what they're promising, and that's the question. That's the thing. It's always if they do what they say they're going to do, they would be the first to market to do it. At least that I know of. Maybe I don't know of a competitor. There was actually one competitor that someone mentioned on Twitter the other day. I forget the name.
DAI.
But, it was DAI, like
Yeah.
DAI.
Yep.
Is it on? Ah, it is. Ooh, what's up here? Well, let's look into this. DAI. So usually I'll look up a coin on CoinMarketCap. I'll see where it's listed. Or it's worth 63 mil. Where is it listed? Hit BTC.
Well, it's a stable coin.
Oh, okay.
So that's actually, you're just really looking at an inverse Bitcoin chart there, I think.
Right. Is it Maker?
I don't know enough about it to go into it, but that's the coin that you were referring to, I think.
Interesting. I guess DAI is a stable coin for Maker. Yeah. Very interesting. Yeah, so that means, looking at this chart, that means that it's kind of like Tether. It's gaining in value because people are actually using the platform. So let's look at Maker on the chart. I know Maker's like a top 100, I think. I'm not mistaken. Yeah, people are actually using it.
So, yeah.
Yeah. That crossing through zero. I don't know. To me, it's kind of like wrong, but I just see round what the market cap is.
All right, you want to look at like just the altcoin market cap and then wrap things up a bit?
Yeah, no problem.
I have to go, but if you want to keep going,
Hey, I got a friend waiting for me in my room, but let's check this out. Yeah. Jeez. Let's zoom out. Yeah, the lowest it's been in a very long time. And I guess it's hard for me to look at indicators because, it's an overall, but yeah, it's not much to say in terms of that. Some projects will eventually run out of money or will go to zero, but if you're holding the good ones, or you're hedging properly in Bitcoin, you'll be fine. And that's that. So, all right, so I'm gonna let you go, brother.
All right, shout out to chat. Shout out anyone that's been watching.
We appreciate it.
It's cool to be doing this at the bottom of the bear. I know there's not that many of us now, but I mean, you guys are accumulating a micro cap right now. That's how I think of it. So
exactly, and hopefully next time Slothy will be able to join us.
Yeah. But anyways, it was a pleasure. Good luck Stay strong, and I'll see you next time.
Sounds good. Take care, guys. Love you all.